Hello, my fellow investors. Let's start part 3 of the series, the story behind Texas Roadhouse. And there's nothing better than to hear from Ken Taylor himself, how he started off. This is an interview of Ken Taylor. I'm going to bring a big portions of this interview in throughout this video. I'm going to explain throughout the whole video and a lot of different things about Texas Roadhouse, what's unique about it, what's special about it, what's the strong moat of Texas Roadhouse. But let's start off this video by just listening to him, how he started off the business.
Hey, for those who might not be familiar with Texas Roadhouse, why don't you give us an overview of your restaurant?
We're like the redneck Outback, basically. No, we do country music, feature hand-cut steaks. We make all of our side items from scratch and just create a fun environment for guests so you can bring your kids in and they can get, loud and nobody cares. And then we have free peanuts and free bread.
So Texas Roadhouse is from Kentucky. How come we're in Kentucky and not in Texas?
Oh, I came up with the idea when I was a kitchen manager at Bennigan's in 1984, and I tried to get, various, as you heard, I got turned down over 100 times. But I was used to rejection, so I would, ask girls to dance in the bars in North Carolina. They'd reject me, so I was kind of used to getting rejected, so it doesn't bother me.
So when did you open the first Texas Roadhouse?
It was 1993, Clarksville, Indiana, after I met the 3 doctors that agreed to back me. But I did try to sell the idea to the Bennigan's folks when I worked for them in Dallas, and they told me it would never work, and thank goodness they did not take the idea on because they would have totally screwed it up.
So 3 of your first 5 restaurants failed.
That's correct.
What did you learn from that experience?
It was Cincinnati, Sarasota, and Clearwater, Florida. And for those that might have been to Sarasota, Clearwater, where the kids are 60 and the adults are 85, not usually our target market. So I was not really very good at site selection at that point. And then when I figured out that we're more of a family brand, I started locating better.
Okay, so this is just the opening to this video. We're going to get into the big details, the peanuts, the free bread, the loud, the music, the kids, everything. We'll get into it in the long detail. But now you heard the story, how he opened up. He had a few failures in the beginning. He got rejected by a lot of investors, and no one believed his concept. And the whole big moat of Texas Roadhouse is the special concept. They have a very special concept, and their fan base is very, very loyal. And I know this by reading thousands upon thousands of comments of a ton of different restaurant chains. And as I said, I came up with the nickname. The Texas Roadhouse is the Disneyland of restaurants. And now we'll get into long detail, everything one by one, everything what's special about Texas Roadhouse. Okay, so here I want to speak about the Texas Roadhouse culture. The culture in the company is amazing, and it starts from the top until the bottom. Over here, Ken Taylor is speaking about the dress code in the headquarters, and although there's a very strong dress code in the restaurants, over here he's speaking about the headquarters. So listen what he has to say.
So you have an interesting dress code at that headquarters.
We have no dress code. Yeah, actually, it's kind of interesting. You say that basically people can wear whatever they want. And when I was at a CEO summit in Washington, D.C., just I think 3 weeks ago, the head of Domino's came up to me and said, hey, I took your idea last year where you have a relaxed dress code, and I implemented that at Domino's headquarters in Michigan. And he says, it's the best decision I made last year and it cost me $0. So
everybody likes it, obviously.
I guess so, yeah.
So you're...
Okay, so you heard what he has to say about the dress code, and I want to show you now another video. This is from the channel of Texas Roadhouse, and it shows their headquarters. And I think it's just so important to understand the company is to understand the culture. And especially Texas Roadhouse, what the culture is all about, is everything. Everything about the company is the culture, what they want to do in the restaurants, what's the concept of the restaurants. And this goes from the top executives until all the workers and the management, until the last one of the servers, the waitress, everyone. And it starts from the top all the way to the bottom. And this is what's so special about Texas Roadhouse. So just watch this video of Texas Roadhouse headquarters.
Coming in the doors, you get somebody that you can say good morning to, smile, hold the door open before everybody starts their day.
I'm greeted by the receptionist team, whoever is on security staff. When you walk in, you're greeted by this huge, oversized peanut bucket and a museum of artifacts and history of Texas Roadhouse. It all began on a napkin to kind of where we are today.
I love walking through all those aisles saying hi to everybody. One of my favorite things about Roadhouse is when you walk in, you will genuinely hear laughter, having a good time, relax. I love that we interact like a family.
We see people walking around in shorts and flip-flops. We see jeans and button-downs, but I've never seen a suit.
It's more of a friendly family atmosphere versus a very rigid corporate environment.
There's caricatures, these comical renderings of all these people that work in the support center. It's a lot of fun.
Love the second floor hallway with all the t-shirts, that giant Andy greeting everybody, urban beehives. I can't wait to taste the honey from them.
The gym has been a part of the office since I started here. It's a way to get people from different departments together and talking. I made relationships through Heiser that I never would have made on my own.
There's a table set up on every floor. You can fill out a little card, you know, who you are, who you're thanking, what you're thanking them for. I think it's cool that Texas Roadhouse takes the time to really recognize people.
It's competitive, but it's fun competition.
There's winners every year. Those trophies are coveted.
This company, it believes in its employees, and it's not only about work, it's also to have fun.
So our goal here in the support center is to really love our people, take care of our people, make sure they feel special.
Our job every day is to support each other and to support operations. This is not a corporate office.
We don't need an appointment to go see the president of the company. He's walking around, very available.
And he makes the time for people if they need it. And that's pretty amazing. We want to make sure as a culture coach that the employee feels as comfortable as possible, as at home as possible.
If you want to be developed and you want to grow, this is a place where you can do that.
Every day I think that, I have the best job ever.
There's laughter, there's fun, there's energy.
It's what makes the culture and wanting to come to work every day.
Culture has always been really important to Texas Roadhouse.
I think it differentiates us from the competition.
Love my job at Texas Roadhouse because you're allowed to be you.
You are recognized, you feel appreciated. It makes
Okay, if it's an official video from the company, we always have to take a lot of things with a grain of salt. But the words maybe are, you could say, who knows, maybe and maybe not. But you can't, the dress code, you see, there's a lot of things you can see which you can't really lie about it. You can't just change the whole building one day just for the sake of a video. And also the company wants to put out such a video. This is on their official channel. They want to show it because that's their culture. They want to show it out. So you see the culture of Texas Roadhouse. It's all about being friendly, about having fun. It starts in the headquarters. It goes down to the managers. And it goes down to the employees, till the waitresses and everyone else. And that's what the feeling they want to give out to all their customers. Everything is about having fun. And not just, being a serious kind of business. Everything has to be serious. This is what's special about Texas Roadhouse in their restaurants and the whole concept and the way they work. So let's get on to the next subject. Okay, so besides the culture in the headquarters, the next process going down is the way they work with their managers. So they don't just pay their managers of each restaurant a salary. They do more than that. And I'll read you from the last annual report. We offer a performance-based compensation program to our individual restaurant managers and multi-restaurant operators who are called managing partners. They don't just call them managers, they're partners. And the managing partners are the ones who are managing a restaurant or a few restaurants. But they have what they call and market partners. So market partners are people who they have oversight of the restaurant. So each manager partner is managing a restaurant, and the market partners are employees of the company who oversee all the restaurants. Each of these partners earns a base salary plus a performance bonus, which represents a percentage of each of their respective restaurant's pre-tax income. So what's very nice about this, the way they do it, it's more than just a stock-based compensation like the normal companies, that if you do good and your friend does bad and overall the company is doing bad, you wouldn't be earning so much. Over here, each person is going to get compensated by their work. A person who's running a restaurant very, very well, he will get money. He'll be earning from his individual work. Even if someone else is doing a bad performance in their restaurant, if he's doing good in his restaurant, then he'll be getting compensated for that. And also the market partners, if their restaurants that they're overseeing are doing good, they'll be compensated by a percentage of the income. And I want to show you a clip of Ken Taylor how we got about to this. Okay, here's Ken Taylor explaining the process of the general managers and the general partners, the way they call them. And listen very good what he's saying, and especially in the end. It's a very, very, very good thing to hear.
Tell me about the Managing Partner Program. What is this, and what
Sure,
was
it
the
happened
inspiration?
at store one where I needed money. So I had our first general manager put in $30,000, and he got 10% of the profits, kind of skin in the game. And so today, our managing partners, the people that run one store, put in $25,000, and they get 10% of the profits. And so they average about $130,000, $140,000 a year. So it's great. So instead of having somebody running your restaurant that's an employee, they're actually a partner.
So that's working out great.
So yeah, I think that's the number one thing for our success over the years.
So that's what I want to hear. He says he thinks it's the number one success of his company throughout the years. I wanted to show you another thing. The product part, the product coaches, what they call them. So this is the data from the 2004 annual report. It says a team of 21 product coaches, 1 per 9 restaurants. So they had 21 teams, and each team was overseeing 9 restaurants, and they expect to keep this ratio in the future, who provide continued hands-on training and education to the kitchen staff for the purpose of ensuring uniform adherence to recipes, food preparation procedures, whatever. So they have whole teams of coaches who oversee restaurants. Each team oversees a few restaurants. And this is the data from 2004. Now, I don't know what changed since then, but because this is the last annual report in 2021, and they say here the same thing, just that they don't say how many teams they have and how much each team, how many does it oversee. But it's the same idea. Nothing changed in 2004. Okay, there's something very, very important to understand about the restaurant managing business. Like they say in real estate, everything is location, location, location. So the same thing could be said about restaurants, and especially restaurant chains. Everything is management, management, management. And we see that Texas Roadhouse puts a very big emphasis on having high quality management. Okay, here's Ken Taylor explaining what I was speaking about, that the whole thing about restaurants is management, management, management. And a big part of management is the employees and everything that goes with it. Food menus can be easily taken from one place to another, but each restaurant has its own employees working there, and that's a big, big, big hard decision on running a restaurant chain successfully.
What's the biggest leap from a single store to multiple stores or a chain?
Obviously, you have to depend on people to do a lot of things. You can't do everything yourself like I did in the first 3 to 5 restaurants. So you have to hire great people, hire slow, but if somebody's not working out, you got to make the quick decision to move on. And I think that's the biggest thing that I see from people that can't scale up is they don't make those decisions.
I want to read you something for the 2004 annual report. They have you about the people, the management and employees, training and development. They explain here everything, how they work. And I want to read here just a small paragraph. Our management and market partners are generally required to have significant experience in the full service restaurant industry and are generally hired at a minimum 6 to 12 months before their placement in a new existing restaurant to allow time to fully train in all aspects of restaurant operation. All managing partners are required to complete a comprehensive 16-week training course. 16-week training course. Now, just for comparison, in Wingstop, they do a 4-week training course. And Texas Roadhouse is 16 weeks, which includes training for every position in the restaurant. Other management team members, including kitchen and service managers, are required to complete a similar, slightly shorter course. All trainees are validated at predetermined points in training by either a product coach or training manager. So basically, Texas Roadhouse puts a very strong emphasis on training their management very, very good. So besides that, they have these product coaches and product managers that are going from place to place and checking everything out. Each manager and each assistant manager and kitchen manager and service manager, they're all going through a great deal of training. And by the way, I found even on YouTube, I found some video. It's called, the channel is called, I think, Berlin Roadhouse. And it has a few videos, a few hours long, about the entire training process of Texas Roadhouse. You could look at it. It's amazing. Now, so besides the top managing, and each restaurant manager has his 10% of his revenue. Besides that, Texas Roadhouse does another thing. And I'll just read here from last annual report from 2021, they have every year each the best manager gets awarded. In 2021, he gets $30,000. I think in the beginning it was like $20,000. So over here they're saying another significant part of what has made Texas Roadhouse thrive is our culture of recognition. While we were not able to host our annual managing partner conference in early 2021, we were able to have a smaller managing partner award program in August. David Hollingen, whatever this is going to be, David has a passion for his team brand and his guest that is unmatched. I was proud to present David his 30,000 check and managing partner of the year ring. Congratulations, David. In addition, Brian was named 2019 roadie, and so all this is part of the culture. They want everything to go into the managers, to the assistant managers, to the service managers, to the roadies, to the meat cutters, to the bread bakers, everything they want to have. And I'm going to show you soon a few clips of the 2021 Manager of the Year and meat cutting competitions. Another video I'll show you about, they have what they call the L program. It's a legendary cutter, or legendary this, legendary that. They have entire programs that's all about implementing all the workers from top to bottom the culture of Texas Roadhouse. I think it makes it very, very special. It's a very, very strong moat for Texas Roadhouse. That the DNA of Texas Roadhouse goes from the top to the bottom, and legendary food, legendary service, and legendary people. So let me show you a few clips.
Well, I think our story is what we're all about. I mean, we're not a company that advertises. We're not a brand that you'll see on TV and hear on the radio. So we want to be bragging about what we do great. Legendary food and legendary service doesn't come easy.
The story is so cool at Texas Roadhouse because it doesn't change. For 25 years now, we've been doing the same things. Fresh baked bread, hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made from scratch sides and salad dressings, ice-cold beer, legendary margaritas. It is our story. It's our history. Nothing's going to change about that.
You know, it starts from the minute you walk in the front door with our fresh baked bread.
And they walk in that door and they smell that fresh baked bread. My name is Janae, and I wanted to bring you some fresh baked bread.
Or I want them to see our bakers. I want to see that fresh baked bread in the window. I want them to know that we're making that from scratch. And that's why Kent designed an open kitchen, so the guests can see how we produce this food. They'll see the trays coming out.
And they see the bread right there, the hand-cut steaks. They're talking about that. The hosts are offering those two great products right in the door.
We're hand-cutting all the steaks every day. It's displayed in the case. You can come through. You can pick out your own steak if you'd like.
So each part of the story is told each step of the way, starting with our host stand. So you make the story a part of your staff by really getting to know what that bread tastes like, what those fall-off-the-bone ribs are.
It's because I'm passionate to say when I'm at the table that they're award-winning because they fall off the bone, and they really fall off the bone.
I think it's very important for everyone to know what everything tastes like.
We're so proud of each legendary made-from-scratch side. We want the guests to understand what choices they have and how great they are.
We peel the potatoes, we cut the potatoes, we boil the potatoes, and that's how we do it here. So it really is made from scratch. You walk by that bar and you can say, hey, you know, there's your legendary bartender over there. She can hook you up with a legendary margarita or an ice cold beer.
We walk in and we brag. We know what we're good at and we show what we're good at.
And I think our story gives us the opportunity to scream to our guests and to our employees what we do and how we do it. And I think that's what really separates us from our competitors.
And those guests, once they see that and they understand how hard we're working to produce legendary for them, they're in it for life. They're never going anywhere.
Okay, I'm so happy I found this interview, this video, because there was a few things that I knew, but I didn't know the background and the story behind it. And over here, Ken Taylor is giving us answers to a few questions, and now I'm just so glad that I found this. So just listen to what they're saying.
So let's talk about this free bread and these free peanuts. This has got to be expensive, but that's a...
Yeah, it's a lot of restaurants do maybe 4% in marketing, and so we don't do any national marketing or TV or radio. So if you have an advertising company, I apologize. So we kind of look at peanuts and bread as kind of marketing for us. And on top of that, we invest money into more people to serve you in the restaurants, and as well better quality food at a lower price.
So why no marketing? Why no advertising?
Well, in the early days, I couldn't afford it. So, matter of fact, when I had Buckhead back in the early days, I couldn't afford it, and there was a DJ, Andy Barber, if anybody remembers, and since I couldn't afford to advertise on his station, I would give him free food, and he would come in and bring his mom on Sundays, and then he would talk about us on the radio, and then eventually the general manager came in and said, hey, you either got to advertise or he can't talk about you anymore. So next thing you know, he's getting free food. So, It was like 25 years ago. I'm sure they're retired or whatever.
Well, what about dessert?
Dessert, we have 3 very mediocre desserts. My chefs have come up with some amazing ones, but I'd rather you eat our food and get the heck out of there so we can turn the tables. So we figure you know, anyway, that's it. So we, you know, peanuts, bread, food, like that's good enough, right? You know, I don't need you to spend $5 and sit 20 more minutes eating a dessert. So yeah.
This is Texas Roadhouse here in Lubbock, Texas, and I'm here to show you where the magic happens. It's right in there, so come on in. Hi, welcome to Texas Roadhouse.
Mike Smith has taught me that we can make the impossible look easy. I'm proud to have him as a mentor, leader, and friend.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up.
Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all legendaries. How y'all doing today? The reason why 2021 was such a successful year for us, I mean, obviously, many folds to it, why it happened. Front of house really kicked ass. We rebuilt the team that we lost during the COVID mess. Brought a bunch of great new faces in that know how to bust their tails and get to work like the rest of us. And it's great to see that every day. The back of house did a phenomenal job with a lot of things. We won legendary food in the Gentry Market. There's just so many great things that happened and why this was the year that we deserve to be Store of the Year. It is $10.6 million in sales, which was over 23% more than in 2019, which was also a great year.
Hello everyone, I'm Rod Patmore, kitchen manager of the Texas Roadhouse here in Evansville, Indiana. I strongly believe we're one of the top kitchens in the entire company. Come on inside and I'll show you why.
Welcome to Texas Roadhouse.
In 2015, you can see that we were very successful in the Hero Letter program. We won a total of 8 letters, which is the most that you can win in 1 year. So very proud of that fact. Let's meet the guys that made it happen. Welcome to the best meat room in the company. Nearest to us is Sean Craig, 13-year roadie, and also a 14-quarter hero. Next to him is Kevin Stout, 6-year employee, and he has earned his 13th quarter in 2015 to combine 27 letters for Evansville, Indiana.
Kevin, tell me what makes Rod Patmore the best kitchen manager.
I like the way he takes the time to get to know his employees, to find out what motivates them in order to get the best results desired for everybody involved.
His dedication, his devotion, his determination, his passion and love for the family of the Roadhouse.
All righty, I'm going to take you down our legendary line. We're going to start off with our legendary 6-year roadie.
Josh, tell me what you think makes Rod Patmore a great kitchen manager.
Yeah, Rod is definitely a textbook example of what this company needs. Every day he is bringing 110%, a perfect attitude, and he's leaving the store a better place than what it was when he was here working.
This is live. We are the best. It's time for everybody to get out so I can go take care of my guests.
Okay, here's another fantastic thing about the Texas Roadhouse culture in between the employees and the management.
So what's Andy's outreach?
Andy's outreach, Lady Dee Shaughnessy back in, I think, early 2000, 2001, somebody had an issue, a medical issue, and we were basically, I think she had a fanny pack and was going around the office collecting money to help with her medical bills. And somehow we came up with the idea that we would people could do a payroll deduction to put into a fund to help people in need, and with hurricane relief or other things like that. And I think since then we've probably given away over $10 million to employees in need, and it's really cool. So if you're, say, maybe a dishwasher or a prep cook, maybe it's only 25 cents off your check, but then you see somebody in your store getting helped, and they get that good feeling or whatever. So we have about 85% participation in that program.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
So yeah.
So that just shows you the culture in Texas Roadhouse. The managers care for the employees care for each other. It's a fun place to work. People really like it. And when people like their work it also makes the customers feel better. So I just wanted to show this out. It's very, very nice. I think it's a useful piece of information, and you can even see it on the 10Ks. But to see it the way they came up with the idea, like it's not just like, like someone came up with an idea, like, okay, let's do this marketing idea. No, it came up out of the need from inside the company. They saw an employee who needed help, and they came up with this idea. I think it shows very much about the culture of the place. Okay, I found here another video about the Texas Roadhouse meat cutting competition. I'm not going to show the whole video, it's not the point, and you have to always, there's probably a lot of fake things going on. If it's the company made this, and you can't know what's true and what's not true. I just wanted, there's two things I heard over here that I really enjoyed it. You could check out the video if you want by yourself. You have here, I kept inside the video if you could try to search it on YouTube. But there's two things I liked about what I saw here, and I want to share with you. So here you can listen to this.
A lot of practice. It's something you don't learn overnight. Trust me, it took me a long time to get to where I'm at. The culture, have fun at work. When we do a lot of goofing off and we have a lot of fun, and that's what the company wants, so that's what we do.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to bring out. He's saying that the company wants him to have fun. He looks like he was pretty saying the truth out of his heart. There's a lot of, I don't know exactly what's in all this video. People are just posing for the fun, or I don't know. But that sounds pretty coming out of the heart.
You're the best.
So, like, that's the thing. I don't know if it's just a makeup or not, but here's another thing I wanted to show you. Here, another new
Good luck,
cutter
Whitney.
who's
Your haircut steaks are the best.
competition.
Roadhouse moment.
So this is what he's saying.
Corey Chatterley of Manchester, New Hampshire.
My favorite Roadhouse moment probably would have to be the first day that I was here during orientation. I thought everybody here was nuts, dancing on tables. I had no idea what the hell was going on. And I kind of realized that's just how the roadies are. You just kind of you gotta be crazy to work here.
See, that's what I wanted to hear. He says like everyone is dancing on the tables, the fun. So like this could be just a makeup, but that's something that a company wouldn't want you to say so much, unless if they're proud of it, unless it's really what they wanted you to hear. Like this could just be a show.
Good luck, Corey, at the makeup.
That could all be a show, but that's something. If the company doesn't want them to say it, then they wouldn't say it, and if they're letting them to say it, then it's probably true. Okay, another big huge thing about Texas Roadhouse is their birthdays. They bring over the saddle to the person who has a birthday, and they make this big yee-haw and everything. And this thing is so popular. If you do a Google search, Texas Roadhouse, one of the things which would come up in Texas Roadhouse would be Texas Roadhouse birthdays. It's like Texas Roadhouse menu, and you can also search Applebee also has it. And if you want to just compare the two, just do Applebee's birthdays and Texas Roadhouse birthdays in YouTube. You'll see the difference. It's a different culture. It's a different. You can like it or hate it, but it's something more unique. And it's not only for little kids. Actually, I saw amazing videos of they did this whole thing for someone who beat cancer and someone who this and someone who for deaf kids, everything. I just want to show you even a birthday for an 80-year-old person. So it goes from age nothing until the oldest people. They all do it.
That's you, man.
Never.
You got it. Don't fall now.
Attention, Texas Roadhouse!
such a classic Texas Roadhouse birthday, even for an 80-year-old person. You see people clapping for him. Again, like it, hate it. People maybe probably don't like it. Maybe people love it. Kids grew up with this thing. It's part of their, it's part of the Texas Roadhouse culture. You know, imagine a whole generation of kids growing up, going, I don't know, once every few weeks or once a month to Texas Roadhouse. I've read comments like people saying every time they go to Texas Roadhouse, they have like 3 birthdays each time they're there. So again, this is part of the culture. You might like the idea, you might hate the idea, but it's something unique. It's something that gives them a very strong brand recognition. It's so popular that you have a Google search saying Texas Roadhouse birthdays. So you could just check it up. There's no point in bringing a lot of videos. There's tons of videos online, probably hundreds of thousands of videos of all kinds of birthdays and every single age and every single kind of thing. It's amazing. Okay, I just wanted to show it as it's just impossible not to bring this up when explaining the story of Texas Roadhouse. Okay, here's another great story about the line dancing at Texas Roadhouse. So let's listen to this.
What's the purpose of the line dancing?
Line dancing was started in the probably 96, 97 in Ashland, Kentucky. A guy named Neil Nicholas thought it up, and one of our executives at the time said, "Hey, you need to go to Ashland. They're breaking the rules. They're up there line dancing." So I drove up there, and I thought it was really cool. So I shared the idea with all of our other restaurants, and the executive that told me I should go punish him, I fired.
Okay, here's a video of the waitresses dancing at Texas Roadhouse. I'm going to play it at double speed because there's no need to watch it for 2.5 minutes. But I want to see if you see what I saw in this video. So I'll say it afterwards, but tell me if you saw what I saw. Okay, what did I see in this video? What I saw in this video are the 2 girls coming up to dance with the waitresses. For what it means, that's what I'm saying about the Texas Roadhouse is the Disneyland of restaurants. The kids come here; they come here for the fun. They don't just come here for the food. They come here; they want to dance or their birthday parties, whatever it is about that they come here. There's a whole generation of kids growing up as Texas Roadhouse is like the most favorable place to eat, and that's why I've read articles saying that the customers of Texas Roadhouse are the most loyal fan base in all the restaurant chain businesses. So what I liked about this video is the kids coming up to dance with the waitresses. Okay, do you think it's only kids who like to dance at Texas Roadhouse? Watch this video. And actually, I saw in this video another thing that I didn't see in the previous video. Tell me afterwards if you saw what I saw.
There she is. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, what did you see in this video that I saw? Or maybe I was wrong. What I saw in this video were the kids dancing, grown-ups dancing, and what I saw was the joy in the eyes and the faces of the waitresses and the waitresses. I didn't see that in the first video. You could see that they're enjoying themselves. Just imagine such a kind of work where you come and part of your work is to dance and dance with your friends. You just see what a great atmosphere there is over here in between the people. You see they're enjoying them dancing. It's not just that they have to dance and they don't like to do it. They're enjoying themselves. That's what I saw in this video. Okay, I don't know exactly where this video was taken and what's the location of this Texas Roadhouse. Everything over here is in English, but all the people over here are Asian. So I don't know, maybe it's someplace, one of the locations in the Philippines. I don't know exactly where it is. But everyone here is Asian, so it doesn't seem like it's inside the United States. So just watch it. You can see everything over here it seems like it's somewhere in Asia. Okay, I don't know exactly where it is, but if it's somewhere in the Asian, that means they took this concept also outside the United States. So I just wanted to bring this video for that point. Okay, I want to show you another thing. This is the letter to the shareholders from 2019. So something interesting I want to show you. We intend to open a restaurant in Joint Base Lewis McChord in the state of Washington later this year. This represents our third location on a military base, along with Camp Humphrey in South Korea and Fort Bliss in Texas. We are proud to be one of the only full-service restaurants on these bases, and even prouder that we were selected because of requests from the soldiers. So this is something very interesting. They say over here that they were selected because of the request from the soldiers. So I want to show you something interesting over here. So this is over here from the same conversation with Ken Taylor. Listen what he has to say, and then I had some interesting stuff to see.
I don't know. Maybe somebody in the crowd's got something.
Anybody have a question they'd like to ask Kent Taylor?
Sure.
Dave. I visited one in the mall in Dubai. Dubai,
yes,
we did.
Sir,
yes,
yeah.
we did. That's quite an interesting.
Yeah, no, we don't sell liquor in the Middle East at all. We have no liquor at any of our restaurants in the Middle East. But the one that you probably ate at in Dubai is our busiest restaurant in the system. Does $13 million, and we ship U.S. beef over there. And we ship U.S. Baked potatoes, because the baked potatoes you get over there come out of Ireland. They're quite bad, actually. And so we ship Idaho baked potatoes there, plus U.S. beef. We do the same thing in Asia, where we are in Taiwan, Philippines, in Shanghai, soon to be in Hong Kong. And then we actually operate on the busiest military base outside the U.S. In Korea, 30,000 military folks, and they took a vote on base which restaurant they wanted full service, and we got the #1 slot, and so we now serve our U.S. military on that base over in Korea. So I was over there this winter. It was pretty cool. So, yeah. And we're getting ready to open, and
okay, so over here, when I heard this thing, I was amazed that the soldiers were the ones that picked Texas Roadhouse out of all the American restaurants. So I always like to double check everything and to be sure. And I actually found some very interesting things. And okay, I'll show it to you soon. Okay, here is a video from a channel called The Korean Times, and I'll just show you what I want to show you.
This looks just like a typical American street in a typical American neighborhood, except that people are in military uniforms. What you are seeing is in fact a neighborhood in Korea. The U.S. Army garrison Humphreys in Pyeongtaek, America's largest overseas military base, which is home to some 25,000 people. We had a rare chance to film inside. This fast food thoroughly is essential for just about everyone.
Okay, did you see that? I thought only Texas Roadhouse was the only restaurant that the soldiers picked in Camp Humphrey. And when I saw over here that there's also the Arby's, and you can just continue on to watch.
Everything. So the first place we visited was the military food court, which had a variety of America's most loved fast food chains.
So this is a little bit shocking to me because he said that they picked them. And I had to watch this a few times and to re-listen to him and to reread the annual report, and then I think I understood what happened. So let me just play it to you.
This facility was opened in November 2000. Is to try the main store. 400 delicious come back.
Level. Exactly.
So you guys have all the menus that Arby's have in the States.
Exactly. And then also we got a survey for all the soldier level, which brand do you like? So we just determine what soldiers love it. So then we just put the concept.
So you guys match the list with the survey and
Exactly.
select the brands.
Exactly.
How long?
Okay, so what he's saying over here is that they made a survey and they brought a lot of restaurants. They have the Arby's and the McDonald's and Burger King and Pizza Hut. So what was special about Texas Roadhouse? So let me just jump over and you'll get to understand if I understood him correctly. Over here they're tasting the Arby's and over here. Okay.
And we were surprised to find a popular American steak restaurant, Texas Roadhouse, there.
All of our managers in this location, they went to one of our branches in the U.S. and they did a few months of training there. So a big part of our decor is our murals that we have on the wall. This one was special for Camp Humphreys. We also have our animals on the wall as well. So it makes you feel like you're in Texas. We actually have a few additional items here, a few extra burgers and sandwiches because we know that's something that's big with the soldiers.
What kind of feedback do you receive from military service members?
That it feels like home, which
Feels
is,
like home.
yeah, that's what we wanted. They feel like they're just going to their local Texas Roadhouse. We get a lot of people that come in and they're FaceTiming or Skyping their family who's at a Texas Roadhouse in the U.S. So they feel like they're there having dinner with their family, which is cool.
Okay, so in the beginning I thought that Ken Taylor was saying something wrong. That they were the only restaurant to get picked out by the soldiers. But I think what he means was that the only full-service restaurant. All the rest of the restaurants you saw in this video, they just brought over Arby's. It's all fast food. But the full-service restaurant, the only one that's over there, it seems to me is Texas Roadhouse, where they have all the American service, American people and everything, just like it's in America. So that's a very, very interesting and a very amazing thing to know, that all the full-service restaurants, the ones that got picked up by the soldiers, was Texas Roadhouse. Now, just another video that I found is the line dancing. I just found this video, so this is another thing. Okay, so there's line dancing also Camp Humphreys in South Korea. But maybe it's supposed to be like feeling home, so I don't know if they have in other places also. But okay, I just wanted to finish up this whole thing. It's pretty amazing piece of information to know that out of all the full-service restaurants, the only one the soldiers picked was Texas Roadhouse. I think it shows very much about the loyalty of the fan base of Texas Roadhouse, how much the clients like them, how much they really want. Out of all the restaurants, wanted only Texas Roadhouse. I think it shows very much about the restaurant and the loyalty of the fans. Okay, here's the thing about the noise in Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, what's a Proud to Be Loud campaign?
When a campaign, actually, I forgot what year it was, that Consumer Reports voted us the loudest restaurant in America. And instead of being upset by it, we printed shirts that said "Proud to be loud" because we're okay being loud. So if you want to eat at a quiet restaurant, that's not us.
Because music is important in
Yeah,
your
music
concept,
is,
right?
country music is a big deal, yeah.
Okay, so here you see the way they built their concept. They know what they are, they're proud with what they are, and they're not shying away from it. Yeah, this is a very loud place, and if you don't want a loud place to eat, so go find yourself somewhere else to eat. So this is Texas Roadhouse. Okay, here's a video of Ken Taylor explaining what kind of locations, how he picks locations.
But when you're checking out a potential restaurant location, what do you look for?
Traffic counts, 80,000 people typically in a market where London is not quite that big, so we've now are doing 60,000 person markets. You want to be able to see the restaurant for 6 or 7 seconds. I got to park 160 cars so that you can go in and eat. And we like to be near the energy of the area, typically a commercial area.
Okay, here's the story behind Bubbas 33. Just listen.
So you have another concept, Bubbas 33. Tell us
Right.
about that. What's that?
It's like the redneck Buffalo Wild Wings. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's kind of a sports bar. And I was at one of those CEO summits in Washington, D.C., I think it was 6 years ago. And I noticed the head of Outback and Applebee's maybe weren't being so friendly because maybe some of their people were leaving to come to us, and the head of Buffalo Wild Wings was kind of joining the crowd. And so that night I got a piece of paper out in my hotel room, and I'm like, well, she wasn't being nice to me. Watch this. And then I just drew out a plan for a sports bar and opened one a year later.
How many do you have now?
Over 31, I think. So,
with more to come.
So yeah, don't piss me off. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, what I liked about the story, as much as he's a nice and friendly person, you see how much he puts in the culture of being friendly. He's also competitive, and that's a good thing. To be competitive, and besides being friendly, that's a good thing about him. And I hope he put this this culture into his workers to be competitive, besides being friendly and being good to your employees. Okay, I think we can sum up this whole part of the series. We can see the Texas Roadhouse has a very strong culture. This culture starts from HQ, corporate management, managing partners, everyone. It goes from top to the bottom. It goes into every single detail, you know, the decor, everything they put into emphasis into every small thing. And I think their brand recognition is amazing. We can just know that from the point they don't advertise nationally, and that the soldiers in Camp Humphrey picked them as the full-service restaurant. I don't think there's after seeing all this, and besides all this, I did another hours of research, reading thousands of comments online, reading articles, and it's pretty obvious that their brand recognition is amazing. They have a very strong moat, in my opinion, that everyone knows them, everyone likes them. And even if the food maybe isn't the best of the best in the casual dining, but people love it. They love the environment. People love coming with their families to Texas Roadhouse. They like the dancing. They like the peanuts or the breads and everything. It's a unique concept. And Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion, has a three-dimensional concept. It's the food, it's the service, and it's the environment. People love coming there. And I think this moat is very strong, and I think it's, like what Warren Buffett says, it's a moat that gets wider and wider each year. Every year there's another new hundreds of thousands and millions of people who are coming in to Texas Roadhouse and for the first time, and it's really global. It's not just in one place. I think this moat is very, very strong, and it's widening by the day. And I think Texas Roadhouse is a very, very high quality company. As I say, this is the kind of company I would like to own. How profitable is it from the investing point is another issue, but it's a high quality company that I would really, really like to own. So in the next segment, we're going to get on to the Q&A with the investors relation, and afterwards we'll do the analysis of what price to buy the stock. That's a whole nother issue. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you like this this video, I put a lot of hours of research in collecting all these videos, so please put a like, and if you liked my videos, you can subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.